What's going on YouTube? This is Jackson with PDX Wax coming at you with a different kind of video today. I've had a lot of questions on my PSA reveals about where I source my cards. The bulk of the cards that I source I get off of eBay, and the rest of them are usually at card shows. Obviously, card shows have the advantage in that you can assess the condition on site, but eBay's advantage is it just has such a large selection. You can kind of find exactly what you're looking for. So I basically wanted to just walk you through my process when I'm sourcing on eBay, some tips and tricks, and hopefully it can help you out when you're looking for your own cards. All right, so first of all, you can see that I have 3 different tabs open. So basically what I do is I have 2 eBay tabs, and then my last tab is a website called Gixxen.com. Basically what this website does is it's a sniping tool. So basically it will bid for you at the last second on auctions. And the reason why I use this is it's a couple reasons really. First of all, I don't want to be sitting in front of a computer screen all day long trying to bid on auctions at the last second. And secondly, I can just put what I'm willing to pay for a card, and it keeps me honest in that I'm not overspending at the last second out of impulse just because I really want a card. So this way I can kind of do my research, determine how much I want to pay for the card, and it keeps me honest and keeps me from going over that number. There's a lot of different, I think there's different software and different websites that do the same thing that Gixxen does. This is just the tool that I prefer. I'm not sponsored by them. This is just what I use. All right, let's get started. We're gonna use my favorite current NBA player as an example. I'm gonna do Shade Sharp, and we're looking for rookie cards. And what I do is I do minus PSA, and what that's gonna do is it's gonna filter out the auctions that have PSA in the title. I'm not looking to buy cards that are already graded by PSA. I'm trying to find raw cards or cards that are graded by other grading companies such as SGC or BGS, so I can find cards that maybe I could crack out and send to PSA. The next thing that I do is I put this parenthesis, and what this is going to do is it's going to filter out your results, and whatever you put inside the parentheses, it's basically gonna find stuff that has that in the title. So I'm looking for the premium brands here. So I'm gonna go for Prism. And you see I'm just putting a comma. Then next I'm looking for Optic, comma. I'm gonna look for Select, and then also Mosaic. And then I like to look at autographs. So I'll do autographs from any brand. I don't care if it's the premium brands. So I'll do autograph and auto. Put my closing parenthesis at the end there. Then I'm gonna click search. All right. And then here where it says sort, I'm going to look for ending soonest. All right, I'm not really looking for base cards here, so I'm gonna skip these. That's a nice card, but it's out of 30, so I'm probably not gonna be able to find a whole lot of comps on that one. So we'll use another example. All right, let's use this one as an example. Actually, let's use this one first. So what I'm doing when I'm looking at these photos is I am trying to assess the centering, and right off the bat, I can tell that this card is off-centered top to bottom. You see how thin it is here and how fat it is down there on the bottom? That right there is a no-go for me. I wouldn't even bother to bid on that card. So I'm going to click out of there. All right, let's check out this Prism Monopoly. And this is like a teal wave. And right away, you'll get better at this with more experience, but right away I can tell this is off center left to right. You can see over here it's fatter on the right side and skinnier on the left side. So right off the bat, that's a no-go for me. Let's keep going. Here's a cool card. All right, so looking at this one, centering left to right, doesn't look perfect, but it looks pretty close. I'm gonna scroll through these photos. Corners look pretty good. And kudos to the seller of this one. Now see, there's a mark right here. I'm not crazy about that. All right, and that mark's gone in this photo, so maybe it was just a piece of lint. Cool. So this is a card I would be interested in bidding in based on the photos. Obviously, there's only so much that you can tell about surface when you're looking at photos on eBay. The true test is once you get it in hand. But as far as the rest of these photos, I like what I see. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy this description. I'm gonna go into another window of eBay. I'm gonna post this description and then search. And then I'm gonna look at the sold auctions to get an idea of how much these are going for. So the last one sold for $201. Here's another one. Somebody got a steal on that one. That one went for 99. 102, 124. So they're kind of, looks like they're kind of trending up. 200 is too much for me, but I am willing to, let's say I'll do 175. So what I'm doing here is, you see this number right here? This is the item number. And when you're using Gixxon, what you're gonna do is you're gonna copy this number and then you're gonna paste it here. And I said I'd be willing to pay $175. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that. You can see that I already have a bunch of auctions set up. That's that. It'll be there in my list and ready to snipe it at the last second. Let me get some green tea here. It's pretty early in the morning. Okay, so we're good to go on that one. I'm gonna close this window. All right, I'm gonna keep on going. Let's take a look at this Select Light Blue Fast Break Prism. Now this is a bit of a pet peeve of mine, is when people don't take pictures of the card straight on. They do like a tilt. A lot of the time people are doing that because they're trying to accentuate the centering in a way that'll make it look better in the photo. Not accusing this seller of doing that in this photo. But right away, there's something that I see on this that I don't like. And this looks like a scratch right here on the surface. The back corners look okay, but just based off of this scratch, I would not bid on this particular card. So we're gonna X out of that. I'm gonna keep going. Let's take a look at this Select White Prism. This one's numbered out of 149. Again, not the greatest photo. And here I'm seeing left, right. You see how it's skinnier here on the right side than it is on the left side? Just based off of that, I wouldn't bid on this. Keep going, see what else we got. Here we got a Donruss Optic autograph. This card, this one actually looks pretty good. The centering on Optic this year is a little bit tricky. What I look for is these two slivers right here. They look pretty even. And then here, the bottom, it's kind of hard to tell because they took this photo at an angle, which, like I said, is a pet peeve of mine. But just based off of this photo, it looks pretty well centered. The top and bottom look pretty even. It might be a little bit fatter on the bottom. So I would probably be comfortable bidding on this. So I'm gonna copy the title, paste it in this window over here. And my computer's lagging a little bit because I'm doing the screen recording, so bear with me. So I'm gonna look for the completed sold items. And we're looking just for the base. So the last one, oh wait, this is actually the hollow. So we want the base. This one, this was best offer accepted. So I'm gonna show you what I would do. There's a website that I use called 130 Point. And the reason why 130 Point is helpful is because it'll actually show you how much the buyer paid on best offer auctions. So I'm gonna go over here to search eBay auctions. And then I'm gonna paste right here. You see it's selected for sold items. You're gonna hit select or submit. And all right, so I see that the buy it now on this auction, the accepted price, even though it was listed at 130, it was 110. I could also just use this to look at some other auctions. This one went for 117.50. This one went for 60. That's a steal. 70, 93. So these are kind of all over the place. I'm just gonna say I'm willing to pay $100. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy the item number. I'm gonna paste it into Gixin, and my max bid will be $100. I'm gonna go ahead and add that to my list. So I'm set up for that auction. I'm gonna go ahead and just leave 130 Point open in case we have to use it again. Let's take a look at this Optic Hollow. All right, so right away, I see some issues with this card. You can see over here this skinny sliver on the left, way smaller than the right side. Same with top to bottom. You see how thick it is here compared to the bottom. And then lastly, there's print lines all over this card. So this card would be a no-go for me. And when I'm scrolling through these, I'm actually assessing on the cards that I would be interested in bidding on. I'm assessing the centering just in this little window. I can tell right here this purple Optic is off center top to bottom. I wouldn't even click on that. Here's a cool card. It is the Prism Monopoly Orange. And this looks pretty good to me. It looks like it's a little bit thicker on the right side, but top to bottom looks relatively equal. Don't see any glaring issues on the back of the card. So yeah, it's a little bit thicker on the right side, but I think it's close enough to bid on. So we're gonna go ahead and copy this description, go to our other window, paste. We're gonna go to our completed auctions. Sorry, I gotta blow my nose real quick. I got a little bit of a cold going on. All right, so the last orange, these are the ones that are numbered out of 124, went for $45. I'm looking for more orange. This one went for $39.99. So it's looking like $40 to $45 range. This one was best offer, but it says read, so there's probably an issue with the card. That's probably why it went a little bit cheaper. This one went for $28.39. So I'm high on shade and I'm willing to pay a little bit extra. So I'm gonna say for this particular card, I'd be willing to pay the $45. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy the item number, paste it. My high bid is 45. All right, so that is added to my list. And let's just do a couple more. So here we have the Optic Mojo. So right off the bat, this one looks pretty good to me. I don't see any glaring surface issues. The centering, left, right, looks pretty even. Top to bottom looks a little bit, maybe a tad off, a little bit thicker on the top, but close enough. Definitely within PSA's tolerance. The back, this edge doesn't look amazing, but you might be able just to brush some of that off, a little extra material. All right, so this card, I'd be willing to bid on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy. Paste. And we're gonna go to the completed and sold items. For Silver Mojo. Last one went for 56. That seems a little bit high. All right, so here we have 20 bucks, best offer accepted, $22, $20.50, $24.95 best offer. So we're looking at around the $20 range, $23.50. I don't know why this one went for 56. So, also you see that this is in China, so the shipping is more expensive. So I'm gonna say with such high shipping, the most I wanna pay for this is $18. I'm gonna paste into my Gixin, put 18 as my high bid. All right, and that is added. All right, so I don't want to take up too much of your time. That is basically how I do it. That's how I source cards off of eBay. As you can see, if something is off center or I see a scratch, like I'm pretty ruthless. I don't even bother bidding on that card. But I've got a pretty good eye. I think with experience, you get better at finding cards that are centered, cards that don't have, you know, dinged corners or edges. With surface, you kind of just, you're doing your best with eBay because you can only tell so much from the photos. The true test is once you get those cards in hand. I'd say out of the cards that I buy on eBay, maybe 30 to 35% I actually send off to grading. So yeah, hopefully that was a helpful video and can kind of get you started looking for cards on eBay. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments section. And yeah, thanks for watching. I've got several PSA orders in the pipeline, so hopefully we'll have some PSA reveals coming soon. Peace.